Hello there. Just want to do just a quick little video for the camera of a rigid body. So here I have a capsule. Don't worry about the cube. That's like so I can see which way is front. And on it, I got a collision set to continuous. You can do continuous dynamic. And I froze the X and the Z for the rotation, so it just doesn't topple over. And then I'll show you what it's doing right now. Right, so here it can move around, and I have two versions of the look, and I'll show you them both. One is just looking to the direction that we're moving, and the other one's looking at the direction for the camera. So first we got the direction of the camera, so let's stick with that one for now. So I am going to add a Cinemachine free look cam, and I'm going to tell this thing to follow and target the player. I'm going to ram that out a bit so we're not zoomed right in. I'm going to flip the axes, and I'm going to speed these up. And I'm going to go with world space. I'm going to go into the body, and I'm going to take away the damping. We don't need that crap. So we got rid of the damping, world space. You could adjust these if you want, make them bigger or whatever. And that should be fine. All right, there's more we can do, but we'll take a look at this. Now, it's going to have an issue, and this is the issue why I made the video to begin with. Is okay, so you can see he's looking in the direction of the camera, right? So just moving the mouse, not moving anything else, right? And we can move him around, and things are fine, really. Let's, I guess, just go with that. Now, if we play with the rigid body, I'm going to put on interplate, we should see, and it's not going to want to do it for me now. But if we have a jitter here, if I go to the camera and I set this to fixed update, it should take care of it. Like that should be fine, right? Now, the other method I'll show you real quick. So first I should explain this. So transform direction. So we're getting the forward direction. We're getting where's the camera looking, which is why we got the 1 on the Z. And then I don't want that angled up and down, right? We just get rid of that. So then I'm taking that same vector and I'm zeroing out the Y. And that's what I'm using to look at right now. So if we get rid of that, we have our movement vector, which is just called vector. So if I swap this over to vector, we are now moving and looking towards our movement. Right, so let's, and you can see like it's like I can move the camera, and if I put this back to normal, let's see what happens. Oh, it's not doing it now. Okay, well, I feel, but normally I end up putting those up to fixed update anyways. So you don't really necessarily have to. goal is to get working what you want it to work, right? But yeah, so this now is just, you face the direction you're moving, and the camera's based on the mouse, right? If I'm turning, pushing, if I'm holding down forward, he's always going to be moving kind of towards, like, away from the camera. Now, there's alternates to that we could do too, right? Because we could say, you know, relative to the capsule, and we'll have a slightly different effect, right? We're now pushing forward is literally just moving forward, left and right is just spinning them, right? So now you're kind of, it's almost like it's a car style driving thing, but now pushing forward doesn't matter which way the camera's facing, he's just moving in that direction, and the arrows are rotating them. Backwards does weird trippy ass stuff. Typically not the best option, right? So usually I'm relative towards the camera. It tends to be the best. It feels a lot smoother, it controls nicer. So that is Rigidbody, just on a basic sense on how to stop that jitteriness. So normally, and I had the jitteriness just a little while ago, and I typically just throw those on fixed, and it goes away. That's it, gone. With that said, always be cautious. I'll show you just another little tip. Let's go into analysis and go to profiler. So physics is always tough. Now, performance-wise, like, we don't have an issue, right? This looks jagged, but in reality, it's just because it's so zoomed in, right? Because we're not causing any performance. Sometimes, what you'll see, you know, like it just can't get it working, or it's always jittery, something. Like it's just there. You can't figure something out. And if you look, especially in this profiler, what I find is you'll have this editor loop starting to eat up a lot more. Like maybe this is sitting at 10 or 12 or something like that. Like it's a much bigger chunk, and it's dragging your FPS down, and then it's because of the lower FPS you're having these issues. And to fix that, when this editor value is getting high, I just literally just reboot Unity, and then it goes away for that. But anyways, there is just a real quick, you know, camera on a rigid body without the jitterness set in, and a lot of it's probably to do with the looking and stuff like that. Like I'm using a smooth look. It's in the late update. You know, we're moving the character with a physics action. Yeah. You just gotta really be mindful of those actions, right? Because if I'm running a different action there, that could be causing issues if I'm in a different update or something. So anyways, there's just a short rigid body and camera.